For this question here, you need to either put a check mark on always true, sometimes true, or never true. The first one says multiplying a positive and a negative number will result in a negative number. So this is always going to be true because different signs will give you a negative number. So if I have a -1 times a 2, I'm going to get a -2 right here. Or if I have a +1 times a -2, I am still going to get a -2 as my answer there. Dividing two negative numbers will result in a positive number. This is also true. If you have the same signs, you're going to get a positive solution. So if I were to do -2 divided by -1, I'm going to get a +2. If I have a -3 divided by a -1, that is going to equal to a +3. Down here it says subtracting two negative numbers will result in a negative number. This is sometimes true. All right, so for instance, if I have a -3 minus a -4, what happens is that I need to change this into an addition by doing the opposite of this number here, which will equal to a 1. Now, if I were to reverse that, -4 minus a -3, again, you need to change this into an addition by doing the opposite or additive inverse of this number right here. So that's going to turn into -4 plus a +3, which becomes a -1. So it depends on your situation. If your negative number in the end happens to be the greater number, you're going to get a negative solution. Multiplying a decimal that is greater than 0 but less than 1 and a negative integer will result in a positive number greater than 0 but less than 1. So the first part of it is saying that if we're multiplying a decimal that's in between 0 and 1, and then we have a negative number, whichever that it is, you should already know that decimals, if they're in between 0 and 1, they're positive. So they're letting us know that a positive times a negative, and they're claiming that this will become a positive number. So what you should know is that if you're multiplying things that are opposite of each other, you're always going to get a negative solution. So this is never true. Multiplying three negatives will result in a positive number. Try -1 times -1 times -1. These two will give you a +1. +1 times a -1 is going to get you a -1 here. Or -2 times -2 times -2. These two right here will give you a +4. +4 times a -2 is going to get you a -8. So that means this is never true. This page was worth 8 points. If you got one of them incorrect, you would have gone to 7. If you got two incorrect, you would have gone to 6, etc., etc.